So while the Rebbe explained that the Oisen Niflois Gedolos Levadei Nisim will be revealed when Mashiach comes, that will be able to be Vigilui, that which is Levadei, which is hidden. The Rebbe also now says, but in also the miracles that will be higher than Teva, they too will be an Niflois. There will be a greater elevation in the in the miracles which is Lamayla Mateva. But the Rebbe asks, why do we have to Arenu? Why do we have to show those higher miracles? Mele, the way we explained that the miracles of Teva are Enu Niflois, we're going to show them the miracles. That's understood. Now they're levade, they're hidden, and when Mashiach comes, this higher level of miracles which come from levade will be revealed. But the miracles that are higher than Teva, even in Elam Haza, and certainly those miracles as they'll be lost in love, why are Enu Niflois? That's the Rebbe is going to ask now. Dalet. V'hinei shnei hasugim shebenisim. These two categories that we have in Nisim, which is Nisim Shalamayla Mahatava, Venisim Hamulaboshim Betava. The miracles which is higher than nature, and the miracles which are dressed in nature. Yesh Bekol Echad Mehem Maila. There is a Maila in each one. The hidden, the one in Teva, is a higher Madrega, but it's hidden. The one that is open is not as high as the hidden miracle, but it has the revelation. There's a Maila. But the kivon shala osid love you call hoinyonim betachlis hashleimus, since in the future to come, all aspects will be reaching the ultimate completeness, wholesomeness, meaning that not only the miracles which are dressed in nature will reach their wholesomeness because they will be revealed, but also the miracles which is higher their nature will also be revealed. So we have to say the mashekos uvarenu niflois, that when the pasuk says, "I will show you miracles or wonders," it is not only as it pertains to the miracles which are dressed in nature that they will reach their shleimus by being revealed. That in the future to come, you will be able to see openly revealed, be seen the miracle which is in them. Kinal Siv Gimel, as we said earlier, Siv Gimel. But we have to say, Elagam b'negeya lahanisim she'eino melubashim b'teva, but also as it pertains to the miracles which are not dressed in nature, that they too will be in the way of our endun diflois. Ukemuvan gamizer. Just the fact the Eberster is going to show us the miracles Kimei Tzeischa Meretz Mitzrayim. We already said before that Tzeischa Meretz Mitzrayim were grand miracles, were beyond nature. And here we're saying that that's going to be Kimei Tzeischa, meaning that in the Gula Asida there will be this nature which is beyond nature, the miracles which are beyond nature. And still we're saying on Enoniflois. Ukemove on Gamizeh Shaimer Shahaniflois, Shiyu Begula Asida. Yiyu Kimei Tzeischa Meretz Mitzrayim, that they're going to be like the days, the miracles that the Eibishter will show us in the Gula Mitas will be like the days that we went out of Mitzrayim. The Hanisim Shahoyu B'Yitzias Mitzrayim, Hoyu L'mayla Mateva, the miracles that were by Yitzias Mitzrayim were higher than nature. And this is going to be Kimei Tzeischa in the time of Mashiach will have these miracles which are higher than nature. So we're not only talking about that we'll be able to see The hidden miracles are enoniflois, but we're talking about we're going to have these miracles that are higher than nature. Ulahoisif, and the Rebbe said not only because we have to bring a proof from the fact that it says like Mitzrayim and the Mitzrayim, just the word itself, niflois, represents things that are higher than nature. Ulahoisif, to add, nisim nikroim b'shem niflois. The reason why nisim are called wonders, who bepashtus, literally simply, why is it a wonder? Lifishein pella shein lamokar betava. Because they're wondrous because they have no room in nature. They're beyond nature. So just saying niflois, I will show you niflois, means we will be miracles which is beyond, both because Kimei Tzeischa, we're equating to the time of Mitzrayim, which over there was miracles beyond nature. And also we're saying Kimei Tzeischa enu niflois. I'm going to show you these niflois, which will be higher than nature. That is the definition of niflois. And yet we're saying ar enu niflois. Move on. So from this we understand the that when it says here, I will show you this niflois. And in the Medrash we find that those wonders that are going to be in the future redemption. They'll be greater than the wonders that were in Yetzias Mitzrayim. Not only will they be greater niflois on a much greater grandeur way, but we call them niflois relative to the niflois. After you have these wonders of Yetzias Mitzrayim, ar enu niflois, these will be wondrous even in compared to the niflois that were in Yetzias Mitzrayim. So the wonders that will take place la'osid love will be even on a higher level. V'ad sheyiyu niflois berech haniflois shehoyu b'Yetzias Mitzrayim, to the extent that they will be wonders even relative to the wonders that was in the Exodus of Mitzrayim. And what does it mean? What does it mean that it will be wonders next to the wonders of Mitzrayim? That wonders, which means that higher than nature, that will be in the miracles that will take place in the future redemption, this is also a wonders even relative in comparison to the wonders that Nisim Shoyu B'Yetzias Mitzrayim, in the miracles that were at the Exodus of Egypt. So while the miracles at the Exodus of Egypt were miraculous, the miracles, the wonders of Gula Hasidah will be wonders even in relationship compared to those wonders. It'll be much higher. So all in all, it means that the wonders that we will experience, L'osid Lavoi, will be on a tremendous high level experience of wonders. So what does it mean that the Eibishter is going to show us the wonders? When we're talking ar enu, the hidden, which are hidden, Eibishter has to show it to us. But here we're talking about wonders which are higher than nature, and higher than nature even than the higher than nature that was by the time of Egypt. This is going to be even higher than that, higher than nature. So tzarich lahavin mashekosu bar enu niflois. So what we need to understand, what does it mean? Now we're going to show you niflois. The lechaire, it would seem lahapir usharen and niflois koi ala nisim shalamai lamateva. According to the explanation that I will show you wonders, which means that even relative, this will be great miracles, which goes on miracles that are higher than nature. especially that is higher than nature of these neflois that'll be in the future. The higher than nature, which is the neflois that will take place, that we're going to see losid lovei, are going to be higher than nature that was in the miracle Yitzis Mitzrayim. Basically, it was going to be an opening of tremendous amount of level of miracles, of wonders. So what is the novelty in this that they're going to see the neflois? What is the novelty? So the Rebbe is going to explain that we said before that the nature hides on the nes, so the balanes does not recognize the miracle. Well, how could nature conceal and block something which comes from levade, nois neflois levade? Hey, you will understand this by introducing Mashuv Alil Siv Gimel, that which was brought down earlier in Siv Gimel, Shahanisim She'ein Bal Hanes Makir Benisoi, those miracle in which the one who the miracle takes place happens to him. He's the Balanes. He does not recognize the miracle. So we explained earlier in Siv Gimel, Shoyresh Hamshochosom, who mibchinas levade, the root of their Hamshocha comes from levade. That's why we say Lois and Niflois Gedolos. Levade is all by himself. So Betzorich Lahovin, we need to understand it. Eich Efsher Shelevushei Hateva. How is it possible for the garments of nature, Yalimu v'yastiru, that they should obscure and block al neis shenimshech mebichinas levade, on a miracle that comes from levade? We're saying you don't even say the nature covers it up. You don't even see it. The idea is that from some of the advantage in miracles which are dressed in nature, when we weigh them, measure them next to the miracles that are higher than nature, is like the Mittel Rebbe explains in Sharei Muna. The al yidei shehanes mislabish beteva hu bo begilui, that through the nes that it comes down in nature, it therefore is revealed. It comes down and revealed. The hanisim she'einom meluboshim beteva, those miracles which are not dressed in nature, yoidim rak mitziusam v'lei mehusam. Over there, we only know of their existence, but we don't get what they are. We don't understand them. Here's an example. Kimei. Take the miracle of the resurrection of the dead. A miracle. So we see the fact. We see the metzias. Even though we see in the actuality, that in the beginning the person was dead and now he's alive. But still, ein yoidim umasigim eichu kom l'tchia. We don't understand how he was resurrected. How did he become alive again? We don't understand that. We just know the fact that there was a person dead before and now he's alive. But how this took place, we don't understand. Similar to this is by all the miracles which are higher than nature, we just know them, but we don't understand them. We don't know how. We don't know the mahus. That's why these miracles are called wonders. The Pella, when you say a wonder, who's she'eine musig b'seichel, that is something which is not graspable with the intellect. To the extent that it's not graspable, when a person sees something wondrous, he's surprised about it. He's shocked. The shtoimemus hu bitla seichel. The shtoimemus, that shock is the negation of intellect. It's not intellect. Vayidei shahanes mislabish b'teva hu ba v'gilu. But through the nace dressing up in nature, it comes openly, which means Shemasigines Mahusei, we are able to understand how the essence, how the miracle works. Kanes the Purim, take the miracle of Purim. We know and we grasp how the decree was negated, how we got rid of the decree. It was through Esther, there was a process. And the same thing is about the four that need to say thank you to Hashem, which is not like a nes, which we make the Brichs HaNisim, but they have to thank, bring a korban toida, say Hagoimel, sheyoidimu masigim, they know and they understand, how the healing of the sick took place. Was through the medicine. The medicine that the sick one took healed him, created it. And the Rebbe says the Inyan Zeh, this idea that is a recognition that we know how, that's only in those miracles that are dressed up, that the Nisim Hamuluboshi Beteva Muhus Hanes Vagolu, the essence is open, who be Iker Banisim Shein Balanes Makir Benisei. That is mainly in those miracles which you don't even recognize. In the miracle, in that highest level of miracle, the levadoi that comes down, that you don't even recognize, over there, the nes itself is most revealed. In those miracles, which you can tell openly that the levusha hateva, the garments of nature, they're merely a garment for that miracle. It dresses up, but you can tell that this is a garment that the miracle dressed up in. That would be like the miracle of Purim. Even a miracle which you don't see openly that it's a miracle, and they don't shine through the nature of the garments so much. You could still say this is something which is unusual. It's bilti rogel. Kimei, that would be in the second category of arba shetzrichim lahoides, from those four that need to give thank you. So these cases of the miracles that you can see it's only a levush, or even if you can tell that there's something unusual, they're still defined as a wonder. They're not understood logically. That's why you have to say thank you for them. This is not a given. To say thank you is negating the seichel and saying, okay, the logic, I am admitting thankfully to Hashem. But the miracle which you don't recognize at all, the person who the miracle happened to him doesn't recognize it. They're so dressed in nature that you understand logically. You don't even see what's the miracle here. You understand it logically. So you understand what went on. So based on this idea that the real uh, uh, place that you have Teva dressed up and you don't see the miracle that is relieved by the Oisen Flois Lavadi. That's the miracle that are fully dressed up. That those who come from Levadi is in the way that you don't recognize who because they come from such a high level of Levadi, they're open everywhere. There's nothing that can block them. So you have a miracle, and it comes down right in nature. In such a way that the ones whose miracle doesn't recognize the miracle. There's no wonder at all. And it doesn't even have the wonder like those who four that need to say thank you, which is a lower level. Why? Because this is such a high level of miracle, and over there nothing can block it, and that's why it comes down everything. So it comes down in the nature. So it's a miracle, but it's a miracle that dresses up within nature itself. As the Rebbe will continue to explain that how these two sources of miracle are rooted above in the level of the Ein Sof, and how this comes down in Mamash in the nature, as the Rebbe will continue to explain further on. The difference, these two category of nisim that are l'mayla ma'teva, and nisim that are l'meluvash in teva, where is their root, their way, they are in their root, is kimavur b'shar ha'emunah shom, as explained in Shar HaEmunah, as the Rebbe previously brought down from the Mittler Rebbe in Shar HaEmunah, the Hanisim Hamulaboshim B'Teva Shoyresh Hamshachosum Hu, the root where they're drawn from is Mizeh. We know that Oirin Sof Hulamata Mata Ad Ein Tachlis. We say about the Ein Sof that he's infinite. He's lower to no finish, and he's higher to no end. So these two parts in the Ein Sof, the part that the Ein Sof is lower to no tachlis, to no finish, inyan heis pashtus vehagilu da Ein Sof. That's the expansion and the revelation of the Ein Sof. Shu mispashet to misgale adla mata that he expands and is revealed to below low. That's the root for the miracles that come down in nature. That's why they come revealed, because that's the pashtus of the Ein Sof lamata mata. At shehem musogim gam b'seichel ha'odam, to the extent that the Ein Sof gets graspable, is understood in the human intellect. You understand what happened there. But the nisim, on the other hand, which are higher than nature, they come rooted from the Ein Sof, which is higher to no end. Inyan ha his almost va'aliyash of Ein Sof, not the expansion of Ein Sof, but the idea of the obscurity and the elevation Esav goes higher. That he is elevated and he is obscure with one obscurity after another obscurity. Will be one elevation after another elevation. The maila higher and higher. Therefore, also the way it comes down lemato. When we have a miracle, so we have rooted in Lamaila and kids, Hem Lamaila Megilu, but they're beyond revelation. They're Niflois. Zehu Kimei Tzeischa Meretz Mitzrayim Ad Enu Niflois. And this is what we're saying, that the Eibishter will show you the Niflois. The Tzeischa Meretz Mitzrayim, I will show you the Niflois. These Niflois, the way they're higher and higher than the Seichel, the Eibishter will show them in the future redemption. Gam haniflois sheshoydish ham shechosom hu mizeh shoydish of mile in case. Also those niflois whose rooted ham shechosom is their come. Where do they come from? The Eidin Sof, which is obscure, higher and higher in kids. Yiyah begilui. That is also going to come down, revealed. We will start to see that higher level of miraculous, the level of the Eidin Sof, the level of hidden, the level of Maila den Ketz that will come down begin. So we'll have both in Yonim. You'll have the highest level will be Begilui, and the most mundane level, hidden level will be Begilui. In the showing of these miracles that will take place in the future, there's be two ideas of this. Even the miracles, also the miracles, in the future to come, which are not going to be dressed in teva, the real niflois like beyond teva, like the splitting of the sea and the river. The pasuk says that the Eibishter will dry out the tongue of the Egyptian sea, meaning the expansion of the sea will be dry land. The Eibishter will raise his hand over the river and split it. Those are miraculous. That is going to be revealed. We'll be able to see it. Similar to the miracle of Kriyas Yamsuf. That was when the Yidden went out of Mitzrayim. Even though it was higher than nature. So it's not just that they saw the Metzias of the miracle, but they still saw then openly. They didn't just see the fact that it split. They can also see the revelation which caused the Yam to split. As our sages tell us, each one would point with his finger, this is my God, and I'll be beautiful. So there wasn't just the Riyas HaMetzias, there was Riyas HaMahus, it was Gilui Ar'enu Niflois. Okay. So if this took place Ar'enu Niflois by Kriyas Yamsuf, so what is the novelty with Ar'enu Niflois by the Gula Hasidah? And the novelty in seeing the floors in the future, legabe hagilui, the Kriyas Yamsuf, relative to the revelation Kriyas Yamsuf is shani flois sheyu la'osid lovoi, that these wonders that are going to be in the future to come, You niflois gam be'erech haniflois shobi yitzias Mitzrayim. There will be even wonders, even measured compared to the niflois that were by the exodus of Egypt. Hainu, which means that they're going to come from a higher place. Shaniflois the losid lova yimshchu memokim naila yosem and niflois shoy b'tzias Mitzrayim. They're going to come from an elevated place more than the niflois that were in the time of the exodus of Egypt. Yes, they'll come from a higher place, but also, literally, there will be more wonders than there was in the time of Yitzias Mitzrayim. The Afal Pikain, even though we get from a higher place, and there will be greater wonders, you begilu boy from the Riyah, they'll be revealed in a way of seeing them. Besides that, the Gam, in addition, that this is going to be a permanent state, not just like by Kriyas Yamsu, which was a one-time happening. V'gam shagilu shoyi b'Kriyas Yamsu, the revelation that took place by Kriyas Yamsu hayrak lefisho, that was temporary. Bagilu de la'osid lovei, but the revealed revelation of la'osid lovei, notwithstanding it's even higher than the giluyim of Yitzias Mitzrayim, but it's going to be permanent. Hagam sheyigilu naila yoser magilu shoy b'kriyas yamsum, even though it's going to be a greater revelation than the gilu of kriyas yamsum, b'kol yiyeh ba'oifun to be doing nitchi, it'll be constant and eternal. The Rebbe brings out that's one inyan in that enoniflois, but there's a second idea. Another idea, another matter, another aspect about haniflois. The idea shalos ilava yizgalu haniflois li Yisrael. Through that in the future these miracles, these wonders, will be revealed to the Yidden. Tiyam shachosam gam ba'olam ba'oifun shel gilu. The way they are going to extend into the world. Not just by Yidden, but the way the world is going to, they'll be extended to the world. And that's why they are going to dress up in nature. So that's going to be naturally because the Yidden will be revealed, and then that will come down in the nature of the world. The nature of the world is going to be such at the time. So if that's going to be the nature, why are they going to be niflois? Ba'afal became you niflois. The Rebbe explains that still they will be wondrous. Kizeh sheyislapshu betava, this that they are going to be dressed up in nature. Huloi mipnei shehem begeder gilui. It's not because they are defined as revelation. So then you can say they're teva, and that becomes the teva. But no, it's not. They're not going to turn into revelation type of miracles. Kanisim hameluboshim beteva achshov, like the miracles which are dressed in nature now. And the reason they come down beteva because they're rooted that the Ein Sof is below low. That's the idea of the expansion, the revelation of Ein Sof. That's why we have it come down in nature. That's not the way it's going to come down in the nature of Losid Lovei. Elo, it's going to be Dagam Sheshoidesh Ham Shochosom. Even though that the rooted of their Hamshocha is from the fact that the Ein Sof is higher than gets, it's a higher level. Not bihispashtus, not Helem Shalomayla Megilu, in a way of obscurity, which is higher than revelation. And even more than that, Shua Helem, it's not only that it's higher than revelation, it's even higher than the whole definition of revelation. As explained in the Hemshech Hailula, it's not only that this is higher than revelation. The Ein Sof. Ulamailo, Mailo. The Ein Sof is higher and higher. Hushagam Batzmusei. That also in the level of Atzmus, it's not defined as Gilui. So it's a non-Giluidike level in the Ein Sof. Mikol Mokoyim, you Malaboshim B'Teva, they'll still be dressed in Teva. Because also the Helam, which is higher than Gilui, Begilui is going to be Begilui. It's not a Gilui Dike Oir that comes down in Teva. It's a Helam Dike Oir. But the Helam will be Begilui then. That's the idea of Arena Niflois. So first of all, that the miracles will come down in nature. They'll come down from a higher place, and it'll be an enu, and you'll still be able to see them. But also in the world, we will know and understand the source. An enu niflo, we'll have an appreciation for the source. So number one is we will see, and we'll understand the mahus of the miracles, like Zakeli Van Vehu, there was a revelation. And also that it's Nimshach in Teva. And it's not the way in now that it's Nimshach in Teva because it's at the Spashtus, Lamata Mata, the Tachlis, but it stays in the level of Helam. That's why it's Niflois. But also the Niflois becomes revealed.